Stories. Okay. Amanda didn't have any stories. You might think of some. I've got 2. How many do you have, Joel?
I have 2, basically.
Okay. Go ahead and go first.
Okay. So we're doing just random stories?
Yeah.
Alright, so in the summer I'm taking these training classes for a promotion at work. And I'm one of the nervous guys, so I'm not talking very much, but you have to participate to get points. Well, there's only really one other guy in there that's more nervous than me, and he only talks whenever he gets called upon. So anyway, we're talking about basically how do you interact with employees and making sure they're doing their job properly. And people say, you communicate with them and you get to know them better. You ask others how they interact about, that certain individual. And then you also listen yourself, right?
Yeah.
All right. That's not the funny part.
Okay.
All right. So you're listening. Anyway, this guy's right up front and they say, I think his name was like Chris or something. They're like, all right, Chris, what is it that you do to learn what these people do? And he says, well, you do all those things that we're talking about. But, I also go up to the front. Let's say they're up front. I go up front, and I sneak and hide underneath the counter. And I listen. And we all cracked up, man. Now, every time I thought about how he said it, oh, my God. During the rest of the class, I was just cracking up. Inside. I could not hold it in. I could just imagine this Chris guy who's real nervous, real shy. And, when he said it, too, he was like, oh, that was so dumb. Every time I looked at him, dude, I just started cracking up. And I was thinking about how he was just beneath the counter, just like his head popped right over. I was like,
people don't notice him doing that?
I don't know. I think it was he maybe communicated incorrectly. But, oh man, it was absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, one of my coworkers was telling me this story. This guy that I work with, he has kind of a short fuse. He's my boss. He's not all the time, but just sometimes if you catch him on a bad day, he's not someone that is someone to be pushed around. And he was at a Walmart, okay, and some kid was in the middle of the aisle of the parking lot, and he was parking. So he was waiting for the kid to get out of the way, and then someone else was backing up on his side. You know how it's two-way traffic?
Yeah.
So, and in the meantime, this other guy comes against the traffic, so he can't park on the side that my bosses wanted to park on, right?
Right.
So, the person backs out, and Richard whips in there, to park on the spot. And he gets out of his car with his wife, and they start walking. And the guy rolls down his window, and he's like, hey, I was going to park there. And my boss turns around, and he's like, listen, moron, this side of traffic is for parking here, and this side is for parking over there. So you actually couldn't have parked there. And he's like, well, you know what? I just think you're a big jerk or blah, 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 or something. Like, said something else. And so my boss goes, hey, you say one more word, I'm going to pull you out of that truck and beat your ass.
No way.
Yeah.
And his wife is just standing there?
No, she's booking it inside. And so the guy in the truck's like, what? You one of those tough guys? And he's like, yeah, actually, I am. And he drove off.
Wait, who drove off? Your boss?
No,
the other guy?
Yeah, the other guy. He says,
wow.
You say one more word, I'm going to pull you out of that car and beat your ass.
That's awesome.
Who says that? Who says that?
Process that.
Anyway.
Wow.
Alright, what's your
It's a real deal.
Yeah.
I'll say mine for random thoughts.
Okay. All right, so same guy at work. Okay, this is pretty good. So we're at work, and he gets a phone call from someone he doesn't know on his cell phone, right? And I'm like, hey, your phone's ringing. He's like, oh, I don't know who it is, so we'll get back to it later. All right. I don't know who that is, but anyway, he gets home that day and he's got 40 missed calls. He plays the first one, and it's like, hey, I saw that I got a missed call from you, so I'm just returning your call to see what it was that you needed. He's like, I didn't call anyone. What are you talking about? Yeah. Next person. Hi, I got a call from this number. I'm just checking to see what it is I can do for you. I don't know what you called me for. I didn't recognize the number. Anyway, call me back if you need something. Next person.
People actually call back?
Next person, call back. All 40 of these calls were people calling back, okay? So
different people?
Yes, all different people. What's funny about it is some people were calling and they were pissed because whoever was calling apparently was saying that they were him, and they were trying to find out if the people on the other end needed a new roof. This was a company. Yes, we're just checking to see how your roof is and if we can do some work on it because, with the storms coming through or something. So some people will call back and be like, hey, I'm calling you back because I saw you I got your number from reverse, what's it called?
Reverse lookup.
Yeah, reverse lookup, all right? I see your name, and I am on the no-call list. You should not call me, okay? And I'll tell you what, if I see your address in here, your address is blah, 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 blah. If I get a call from you, you're not going to like what's coming next. Just stuff like this.
So that's what your boss would do if he got a call.
Yeah. So he calls, he's like, man, this is crazy. I don't call any of these people, right? So he calls Verizon, right? And they're like, oh, you've been a victim of spoofing, phone spoofing. Since the new law went into effect for telemarketers, there are some people, some companies, or some marketing firms who are taking just a random number, using your number to screen when they call so they can't be added to the no-call list.
That's so fucked up.
Yeah. So they call a random person's house, right?
Yeah.
And it shows up with his name and his phone number, right? And someone picks up or they don't pick up, whatever, right? Okay. What's really funny is when our second pharmacist came in today, I was like, yeah, we're actually kind of lucky that he's here today because, he was getting threats and stuff last night. And he's like, yeah, apparently I've been a victim of spoofing. And my pharmacist goes, yeah, we got a call from you last night and about roofing, replacing our roofing. We were really confused about it. And he was like, you were going to tell me? You were going to tell me this happened?
That is so weird.
Can you just imagine? I mean, that's...
I'm actually, I'm surprised that 40 people called back the number that they didn't recognize.
That's what he said. He goes, who in the hell is calling back telemarketers?
The person who's like, hey, I didn't recognize your number. If you need anything, call me.
Yeah. How many people did they end up calling, too? I mean, only 40 called back.
Right. Those are 40 missed calls. Yeah. That's crazy.
Insane.
One of them being our coworker. He got a call from him.
Weird.
Yeah, I wonder if he did a lot of local numbers too, because they use the same area code.
Yeah, I don't know. That's crazy. All right. Anyway, that concludes our stories. It was really funny when he told it because he was just telling me about what some of these crazy people were leaving on his voice messages. Anyway. All right, that's stories.